Hey guys, welcome back to Real Housewives Recaps. Today, we're talking Uncoupled, episode 8. You guys, I am not ready for this to be done. I love this episode. There's so much to talk about, and I can't wait to read all your comments on what the heck happened in this episode. So good. I implore you, if you haven't seen it, go watch it before you watch this, because obviously this is chock full of spoilers, and we're going to be talking about it all. So without further ado, let's get into this. I can't wait. But first, if you're interested, I do have a Patreon. It's patreon.com/Real Housewives Recaps, where I break down all kinds of shows. I'm going through every episode of Sex and the City right now and having so much fun doing that. So check that out. You have access to all my back catalog of episodes I've done, and I release like 4 new episodes a month. It's just a lot of fun, so check that out. Okay. On to Uncoupled, episode 8. So it starts off, remember Michael last episode busted his face at the end of the episode, so that's where we pick up, with his face looking like this, knowing he's about to go see Colin at the Jonathan and Jonathan's wedding. So Suzanne comes over, and I love her outfit. I think she looks so pretty in this. I love this dress. It's like, I don't know what that word, it's like cinched in all the way down the middle. It's really flattering. I think it looks great. So she comes over to do his makeup to cover up that spot. She's flinching, saying it looks angrier in person. Okay, so this will be the first time they're going to talk, and I did realize I made a mistake last episode. I had totally forgotten they actually sold Claire's apartment. I was thinking that was the thing, is they hadn't sold Claire's apartment. They did sell Claire's apartment. It just kind of happened real quick in an episode. So he got a check, a big fat check from the sale of that place, the commission check, and he has decided he's going to use it to buy out Colin's half of the apartment. He's decided he really wants to stay. He's gotten his stuff together. He's saving money. This is what he wants to do. He thought he'd be ready to move. The deal was he was going to have 6 months in the apartment, and then he was going to move out, and they were going to sell. But he's decided he wants to use his check to stay. I love how well this show is written. It's really good. It's really funny in parts. It's really touching in parts, especially during this episode. It shows a lot about the growth of Michael. Again, things, I can go on and on. It's what was missing from it, just like that. We didn't see any growth in the characters. They weren't endearing like Michael is. I'm just enjoying the hell out of the show. Okay, so at the wedding, Suzanne and Michael are there. Suzanne tells Michael to drink this and calm the fuck down. I love Suzanne so much. I think she's a great, her personality suits Michael's personality. They're very well written, very funny together. Okay, Billy has brought Wyatt as a date. It's a second date, which is a big deal because Billy just doesn't have second dates, it sounds like. He's going to try to give it the old college try. Stanley walks in and he's sad. They assume it's because he gets sad at gay weddings. Because he realizes he might have wanted to get married at some point, something like that. But no, we found out, and I hate this storyline, but it's good, it's real, but it's so sad. He got a call from his doctor, he got test results, and he actually has breast cancer. He tells the guys about it, they think he's joking, he's not, it's stage 1. They're very sweet with him, and they comfort him, and we'll get back to this storyline. From here, Colin arrives. So Michael greets him, and it's a really funny greeting. He walks up. Colin happens to be standing next to this guy. He thinks it's Colin's date. He gives him a run through as to why he's wearing makeup and all this. But no, it's just some random guy there with his wife. And Colin's like, "What? You thought this was my date?" It's just a funny, bumpy start. Colin says that he should have been more thoughtful in the way that everything went down. And Michael says he was trying to make Colin more comfortable. The ceremony starts. They go their separate ways. Beautiful ceremony. Love this location. I have no idea where this is, but it's so pretty. We see the Jonathans get married. They say their vows. We see that Stanley is sad throughout, which really broke my heart. It's a sad storyline. But Michael, we see him happy and sad, going through the emotions. They say, "You may now kiss your Jonathan," which was sweet since they're both named Jonathan. Okay, so then they have this dinner, and they're talking about the cancer, and Stanley says only 1% of men get it. Suzanne relates. She had a scare. She comforts him, and tells him, that you have a really good chance. You're going to be okay. Michael realizes that Colin is eating alone, and he goes over to talk to him. Colin says he's at the gay singles table, but that they're all in the bathroom doing blow. And the reason this is funny is if you watch Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, you'll remember that famously Lisa Rinna asked Dorit if everybody at the dinner party went to the bathroom to do blow. Everything relates back to Housewives, right? So they have a really touching moment, right? They're talking. Michael says that he has a business thing that he wants to talk to Colin about. And right at that moment, they start to give a wedding speech. The mom of one of the Jonathans thanks the two of them for splitting up because it scared her Jonathan so much into how easily things can go to shit. And basically that's why they got married. So they thank Tipsy Teresa for the speech. Colin says at least something good came out of the breakup. And they just have nice moments. Again, we see growth from both of them. And I think especially in Michael here. Michael talks about wanting to buy out the apartment. Colin has a weird response where he says his investing brain needs to think about it, but instead of Michael flying off the handle, he handles it well, and he says, okay. Creepy guy comes back from the bathroom. Michael makes his excuses and goes back to his table. Back at his table, he tells the group about Colin needing to think about it. Jonathan's come by and telling the same story. Thank God you two broke up. And they met because they were hitting on the same guy at the party. Meanwhile, Suzanne goes up to Colin, and it's kind of the first time they're talking since the breakup. Clearly, she's very close with Michael, so it's hard for her to talk to Colin, but they had a relationship, so they're talking, and it's awkward. But she says, listen, you need to do the right thing here. I love you, but you did a shitty thing to Michael. You have the chance to do something nice now. And he says, well, the apartment's gone up 40%, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, no, you need to do the nice thing. And I love that. I love that for Suzanne. She's right. It's not the time to be thinking about how much money you could make, especially since Colin is the one that pulled the rug out from Michael. Had it been the other way around, I would see where Colin was coming from, but I didn't. And I'm glad that Suzanne stepped up and spoke up for Michael. I thought that was a really nice show of friendship. He says it feels weird because he assumed that, another couple would move into the apartment and they would move on with their lives. What if Michael brings somebody home there? And she says, well, you did that. Okay, so then we go to Billy. This cater waiter is hitting on Billy. They hooked up before they exchanged numbers. Well, Wyatt, his date, hears this and is not too happy. They have a big falling out. He calls him a shallow, narcissistic, gay cliche. And it hits home for Billy. I think it makes him self-reflect a little bit about how he's been acting. Suzanne is angrily eating the cake, and I related to that so much because if there's a piece of cake in front of me, I'm going to eat it, even if it's bad cake. So I love that she kept taking bites, even though she was pissed at the cake. She actually said it was, low-carb something, and it was like chicken with icing on it. Kai calls and reveals that he, as we know, has found his dad. In a very sweet move, he says basically that they have been texting. They're supposed to meet tonight, but he's decided he's not going. You're all the family. I've gotten all the family I need. You guys, I may or may not have teared up during that part because it was so sweet. I love their relationship. I love how much she loves Kai, and they're so sweet together, and that's really cool. So he reveals that the father's going to wait there for 2 hours for him to show up, which, hint, hint, I guess we know where that's going. We'll talk about that when it happens, but she promises to bring him home some awful cake. So then we go over to Billy, who finds Stanley and wants to know, why did you ask Michael to take you to the doctor? Why didn't you ask me? And Stanley basically says, because you'll be there scrolling on Grindr. So again, having just been called a shallow narcissist, he's realizing that his behavior is shallow and narcissistic, and in his own way apologizes, hugs Stanley, and says he'll be there for him. And I love you, Stanley. Whatever happens, I'm there for you. You guys, such a sweet moment. Okay, Michael and Suzanne are dancing. They're out with the Jonathans dancing, and who comes out on the dance floor but Colin? And everybody's surprised because apparently he's not much of a dancer. Well, of course, the song goes from fast to slow. They play At Last, and Colin asks Michael to dance. And they have a laugh about Michael having to wear makeup to cover up the damages to his face. And there's a funny note of an extra dancing in the background, basically staring at the camera that you can see at this moment. Okay, so he says, if this is what you really want, you can buy me out of the apartment. You seem really good. You seem different. And he says, it's really nice seeing you, Michael. And they leave on really good terms. And it's a really sweet moment. I loved it so much for them. Okay, so then we go to Suzanne, and she said, what the F with the dancing? They say, Michael says that they could actually be friends someday. And it didn't hurt like it used to. Again, seeing the further growth of Michael. They laugh about the awful cake. We see Billy in the car. He deletes the caterer's information, meaning he's going to start being a little bit more, I guess, grown up, serious about things. We see Stanley Googling breast cancer survivor rate. And then Suzanne, as I figured might happen, decides she's going to go meet Kai's dad. She looks in the window of the restaurant where they're supposed to meet and yells out loudly, oh my God! But they don't show what she's looking at, and I'm dying to know. What's the deal? I'm guessing the guy on the phone she was looking at is Kai's dad, right? Like, I know she's not really sure. She tells the story over and over about backpacking through Europe, and it could have been one of several guys. But she had a screensaver on her phone she kept looking at, and I thought, is that Kai's dad? Is she surprised? Did she think it was one guy and it's another? Like, what's the oh my God about? I'm dying to know I need to know more about that storyline. Okay, and speaking of crazy storylines, let's get to this last part here, you guys. My heart can't take this. Michael goes into his apartment. He's happy. He's smiling. He throws his jacket down. Or no, he doesn't. He's still wearing his jacket. I don't know. He throws his keys on the table, something, and he turns the corner and he's completely startled. Colin's in the apartment, and what Colin says is, I think I made a mistake. And this is Michael's face. He's completely in shock. And you guys, I am too. They can't do this to us. I'm going to need season 2 like tomorrow so I can see what the heck happens here, because oh my God, Colin showed back up. Do we want this? Michael's doing so good on his own, and he's growing up so much and realizing so much about himself. Do we want this? I'll tell you how I feel. I still want it for him. I think he truly loves Colin. I don't know. It's hard. Like, he's been so sad, and I'm just pulling for Michael so hard. And if this is what he wants, then I want him to have it. And if it's not what he wants, then maybe he'll find somebody great in season 2. I don't know. But, what an ending. What an ending. He says, I think I made a mistake. Could there be, so I guess the cynical part of me asks, is he talking about the apartment? Is that what we're going to do in season 2? We're going to find out he's actually talking about, I made a mistake agreeing to sell the apartment to you? And so then it'll be a contentious season 2 where they're fighting? I don't know. Surely not, but I'm just trying to think, where can they go from here? But damn, what a good season. I loved it so much. I really did. I'm dying to know what happens to each of the characters. It was so well written and so well done and such interesting storylines, and I really found myself rooting for them all. And I don't hate Colin. That's an incredible writer or writers that can make you not hate him for the way that he left Michael and the way that, you pull for Michael. So, I don't know. I just thought it was so great, and I really enjoyed it. And I'm dying to know your thoughts in the comments. Let me know what your thoughts are. What are your predictions for season 2? I need to know all the details, so let me know. And thank you guys so much for sticking with me on this one. Thank you for recommending this to me. I have seriously enjoyed every minute of it. Such a great show, and I appreciate all of you. Do check out my Patreon, patreon.com/Real Housewives Recaps, where you can find more videos from me. And yeah, just hit that thumbs up button and share the video. I'm trying to keep my channel growing. Thanks so much for everything, guys. I really appreciate it, and I will talk to you again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.